ABC Listen. Podcasts, radio, news, music and more.
Was a long shot for Steph Gilmore, but let's close this one out. One of the most emotional and deserving moments of Stephanie Gilmore's career. She holds the record to herself, officially an 8-time world champion.
When Steph Gilmore announced she was taking a year off the World Surf League, we wondered if she'd really be back. Would an 8-time world champ need to keep competing? 1 year turned into 2. She went on adventures, started a tequila brand with her girl gang, played heaps of guitar, got her own Barbie doll. Yep, when a beloved athlete appears to be done with competition, you can't help but want them back. It's the reason Ash Barty has to hose down comeback speculation anytime she's near a microphone. Well, in about 2 weeks, we're getting the Gilmore comeback. At 38 years young, she's back on tour after a 2-year sabbatical. Why now? In this bonus episode, she's talking comebacks. I'm Patrick Stack. This is ABC Sport Daily. Steph Gilmore, 8-time world champ, back on tour after a 2-year sabbatical. Steph, I guess the question every surf fan is wondering is, why are you returning?
Yeah, I think I just am excited to challenge myself against these amazing young women on tour. And, the WSL have got an excellent looking schedule this year, and lucky I get a great opportunity to get the wild card straight onto the tour. And those don't come that often, so I want to make the most of it.
I asked actually Lane Beachley what she wanted to know from you, and she's a rare someone who's kind of been at your level. And she asked me to ask you how it felt to be returning as a veteran. There's this whole new wave of competitors who are sort of really cementing themselves. Molly Pikham, Erin Brooks, Katie Simmons. I mean, Tyra Zabrowski's 14 years old. How are you feeling about returning as a vet?
Yeah, I'll be the oldest on tour, which I was the oldest the last few years I was on tour, but I think it's cool. I mean, I'm so impressed by all of the new generation and the young girls on tour, and just the levels gone through the roof, especially in heavy waves. And I don't know, I kind of feel like after having a bit of time off, I'm almost like a rookie again. I've got like these new feelings and the nerves, and it's just like, I don't know, it's just kind of like going to be a fun adventure. And I guess at this point too, I don't really have much to lose, so I'm feeling pretty carefree about it. And I always have high expectations of myself, but I'm pretty excited to just go out there and feel like I can just surf the way I want to surf, and I'm not, it's not the end of the world if I lose a heat.
I've seen you talk about creating lies about your opponent, sort of Michael Jordan style, to motivate yourself. And I love what that says about your competitive nature and how you find a way to flip the switch. What kind of lies have you been cooking up for the new wave? Have you been, workshopping it?
Probably the same thing, like just approaching it as a rookie, like a completely clean slate. And yeah, like I've got nothing to lose. So just go out there and be completely tuned in and switched on and just enjoy the whole process. I think my expectations are probably lowered a bit of what I can achieve in the year, but at the same time, anything's possible. So just enjoy it all.
Can you remember when you were emerging and the way you looked up to the best in the world? Maybe it was Lane Beachley or others. Did you ever think about that contrast, that you were once the emerging talent and now, you're the greatest of all time, and how this sort of reemergence sort of grapples with that? It feels like you've kind of got a foot in both camps.
Yeah, totally. I guess I don't even know how to answer that. I think it's just an exciting opportunity to challenge myself. And like you said, the young girls on tour, I know what frame of mind they're in because I was once that rookie who was challenging the likes of Elaine Beachley and, the women that I really looked up to. They're super dangerous, and that carefree spirit is really just the most exciting position to be in. And that's kind of the way I'm looking at for myself. But yeah, we'll see how it all pans out.
Molly Picklam's obviously at the forefront of things. World title last year, and she talks about you as a hero and spoke about how much of a buzz she got communicating with you after that win. Like, what's that relationship like? Because I assume it's somewhat mentee, mentor, but it's also now opponent, obviously.
Yeah, I think, obviously at the later stages of my career where you want to be able to pass on your knowledge and wisdom, but at the same time, as a competitor, you kind of have to keep a few cards close to your chest because you don't want to you don't want to give them all the secrets and then they end up beating you in every heat. But no, Molly's she's had an excellent few years on tour, and she's learned so much and progressed her own surfing and progressed all the women's surfing to a new level at Waves Up Pipeline and Tahiti and Fiji. So yeah, she incredibly inspired by how she approaches heavy surf, and she's just fearless. A lot of these young women are super fearless, and it's I'm really inspired by that kind of take. And so yeah, it's really cool to see that she's leading the charge, and to have an Australian woman as the current world champ is also something that I'm super proud of, and yeah, looking forward to challenging myself against somebody like Molly.
Regardless of whether you're competing or not officially, I know that you're going to be surfing, and I'm interested to know those 2 years without being in sort of, by and large, competitive environments. How did you find that? Does it change the way you interact with surfing? And did you have flashpoints of regrets where you're sort of like, oh, I kind of missed that edge?
Yeah, I mean, I've always enjoyed competing, and stepping away from the tour was obviously quite freeing and a lot of fun. And it's almost more work because you don't have that set schedule where you know you're going to be at what dates and what boards you're going to ride and what waves you're going to ride. You sort of have to make these trips and make more content for yourself, and sort of work harder for the companies that you're sponsored by. And on tour, it seems a little more easy. You kind of can just show up and do your thing. But yeah, no, it was a nice breather, but I definitely was watching events going, oh, I wish I was in this event. So that was when I kind of knew that I wanted to go back on and have another go.
I'm intrigued as well. Like, I've seen countless clips of you surfing snapper rocks and surrounds. I assume you sort of live up that way. And it looks pretty hectic in the water. Does a world champ get dropped in on in 2025, 2026? What's it like to surf in such massive crowds like that when you are a cut above everyone else in the water?
Yeah, the Gold Coast is a unique lineup where it's a free-for-all. There's kind of no rules, and it's great for building competitive surfers because you have to be pretty assertive in the lineup. But for the most part, there's no real right of way. It's everyone's dropping in on everyone, and I'm dropping in on people, and they're dropping in on me, and it's just it's kind of whoever can go the fastest or sit the deepest might be able to get the most waves. But I'm used to it. I grew up here, so I actually feel strange when I'm surfing somewhere where there's nobody out.
What do you think about localism in 2026? As more people are in the water, surfing booms, how do you see that balance of the conversation where, the ocean's for everyone, but there's also got to be a level of respect around a sacred space where crews surf it day in, day out?
Yeah, localism is, there are positive and negatives to it. I think some places there are a lot of angry locals still, and they are just trying to, I guess, keep an organised chaos in the lineup. And I don't know, it can be good. There are a lot of waves that have sort of been overrun with a lot of surfers, of all different types of skill levels, and it does make the lineup, if it's a heavier wave, a bit more dangerous. And so it kind of feels like localism works for those types of places. But at the same time, no one owns any waves, and surfing should be welcoming for everybody. So, it's kind of we're all just out there bobbing around on surfboards, having fun. So we really can't be flexing too hard and taking it too seriously. It is hard, though, when you're trying to train and test boards and there's people in the way, and it can be kind of frustrating. So I think that's where wave pools have come in really handy.
You don't strike me as a regulator. I don't imagine you sort of,
Definitely not. I'm definitely not a regulator, yeah. But sometimes I wish I was a bit more stern in my my approach to crowds. But yeah, it's a tough one.
One thing you are is busy. Launched a tequila brand with your mates, became a Barbie doll, pretty cool. Played on stage with Spiderbait. I know you love your guitar. What gives you more anxiety, paddling out for a heat or playing on stage with Spiderbait?
Yes, I think at this point, definitely playing music on stage. During the Burley event when I was competing last year, and I also was playing in the band, and I think I was out in the water during my heat thinking about chord progressions and making sure that I got my solo down right, and it probably stole a bit of my attention from the actual surf. So maybe it wasn't a smart idea, but I think it's really cool to be able to have those opportunities, and also, they're pretty scary to get asked to go up on stage with thousands of people watching. It's you sort of lean towards saying no, but at the same time, you got to push yourself to do things that you're uncomfortable with, and you end up having such a good time, which I did. I absolutely loved it. And I mean, being a rock star is weird lifelong dream, but I'd probably be a weird struggling rock star at this point. But but yeah, I really enjoy playing guitar, and hopefully there's more opportunities to get up and play with some bands.
I feel like there's plenty of musicians who want to be surfers and vice versa. What was the biggest positive from the year or 2 years off? Relationships, mental health. I know that you have long desired to improve your cooking. Was there anything in particular that you loved getting better at, or that you felt like, oh my God, I'm so different in that space?
Yes, so launched a tequila brand with my friends as well. It was a really busy off time. So lots of guitar, launched a tequila brand with my friends, which is doing really well, and we're having a lot of fun with it. And then, of course, a highlight of probably my, definitely a huge moment in my career was to be honoured as a Barbie doll and to be a part of the Barbie Dream Team, which is, a group of women from all over, all kinds of different athletes, astronauts, musicians. Like, it really highlights the philosophy of Barbie, which is sometimes you need to see it to believe it, and you can be whatever you want to be. And so, yeah, that was super cool. And they don't actually sell our Barbies, but they made me one. And it's really cool to have that honor.
Yeah, what's it like seeing yourself in Barbie form? I can't imagine.
Yeah, I think the mold for my Barbie was probably the original mold, except she has like quite flexible ankles and knees, so she can actually surf. But yeah, she's really cool. She's got a cute little Ripco wetsuit, and that was actually modeled off my Ripco collection. It's super special. Like, I never thought that would be something that would happen in my career, but pretty proud of that.
I know that you've been trying to use some of this time to get on adventures as well. Is there something that you wanted to do that the tour had kept you from doing that you finally got to do? I don't know, maybe it was a place you wanted to visit, something you got to tick off.
I mean, I feel like I was able to do so much stuff even while I was on tour, but yeah, these last few years I was able to do a few more trips. Got to do a trip with Tom Curran and Mason Ho, got to do another trip with Mick Fanning and Mason Ho, and then I did another trip to the Solomon Islands, which is a place I never got to go to before, and surf some new waves. And it's just cool to adventure around and surf a new place that maybe no one's ever even surfed before. So there's a real thrill to adventuring in the ocean like that, and then doing it with great people and sharing the stoke of surfing with the local communities that you show up and meet. They're all really great experiences that I had that time off.
You're not alone in taking time away from the sport. I see John Florence sailing around the world with his little family, chasing adventures and waves. Have you compared notes at all with John, a fellow world champ?
A little bit, yeah. No, John is, he really is the ultimate surfer, the way in which he's a world champion. He is the best surfer in every type of wave. He's surfing huge waves. He's doing airs and small waves. He's really so comfortable in the ocean. And now for him to just jump on a sailboat with his family and take off in search of waves he's really living that ultimate surf adventure dream. And then to film it all and share it with his fans he's just absolutely killing it. I think almost any surfer you could talk to would say that he's at the pinnacle of the ultimate surfer. So
we're not even at Bells yet, so this question might seem a little bit forward facing, but I know that you missed the Paris Olympic Games that were obviously at Chopu. From a surfing perspective, is there part of you at all that is gunning for Los Angeles 2028?
I'm not sure. It's the qualification for Los Angeles is next year, so it sort of goes off. They've just changed it. It's the first few events of the World Surf League, and then you go to an ISA, which is a different governing body, and they have their own event, and you sort of have to do a qualification through that. So there's a couple of different routes that you can take to try and qualify. And yeah, I'm not sure. I think we'll see how this event or these events in the next few months go, and see how I feel. And lower trestles, where the Olympics will be in Los Angeles, it's one of my favourite waves, and I've definitely done good there in the past, but I'm not completely counting it out. But yeah, it's not exactly etched into the diary just yet.
One step at a time, we understand it. Bells looms. I think Australian surf fans are so excited to see you back in the water doing your thing. Steph, thanks so much for your time. Appreciate you being so generous with it today.
No worries. Thanks, Patrick.
How fun is Steph Gilmore? Can't wait to see her compete at Bells. We will be back in your feed with normal programming Monday. Catch you then. Thanks to the WSL for the extra audio used in this episode.